what we want, then we lose it all again. Your touch on my skin, pull me close, take me in. Just me, just you, lost in the moment. Lost in the moment.
Guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing really well. If you guys are new to this channel, my name is Patricia. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and join my journey. But if you guys are a returning viewer, then welcome back. I am trying to speak kind of low because baby is sleeping, but if you guys are new here, my name is Patricia. I have a 1 month old baby. I can't believe I'm saying this, a month old baby. And I just wanted to come here and basically share my breastfeeding journey. It was a quick breastfeeding journey, but I just want to come and share it with you guys because I know it's something that a lot of people want to do, and then on the other hand there's a lot of people that don't want to do it. There's a lot of different like conversations about it, and a lot of people experience breastfeeding very differently, and I just wanted to come here and talk about my experience because it might help someone. Because I know that when I was having troubles with breastfeeding, or you know, I was just thinking, should I just go to formula? I did watch some videos and people's experiences, and a lot of people's experiences were very different to mine, but made me come to a complete decision. So as I said, I've got a 1 month old baby. The first 2 weeks of bringing him home, he was strictly breastfeeding. So it wasn't something, I just want to put it out there that breastfeeding wasn't something I honestly really wanted to do. I did say that maybe in the hospital I would do it, but then I would see how I feel and then make a decision. It wasn't something that had my mindset on, or I'd done a lot of research on it. It wasn't. So once Santiago was born, he latched on like a glove. Even the midwife said like his latch is perfect. It's like he's been latching all his life. So I was like, you know what, as his latch was really good, I'm gonna go with it. But I didn't consider everything else that goes with breastfeeding, not just, you know, oh, he latched and that's it. So then we got home for the first, so when he was first born, Santiago was a very lazy baby, so he was sleeping a lot. He didn't have genders, whatever it's called, he didn't have that, but he was still always sleeping a lot, so he wasn't feeding much. I physically had to remove his clothes, everything for him to actually eat, because he wasn't eating. Anytime he would latch onto the boob, he will fall asleep within the next 2 minutes. So yeah, so in the first week, you know, breastfeeding was very easy, very simple. I was at home, I had Evan's help and support, so it was very different. So like Evan would help me around the house, I could like concentrate on the baby, on the breastfeeding. Everything was going really well. Second weekish as well was very similar. However, from the second week I did start to realize that he was more demanding with the breast. He wanted to be on my boob much more often, and I you know, midwives are saying it's normal, it's because he's falling asleep, da 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 da. So I was like, okay, cool. It came to like his third week, and I started to notice that he was getting very irritated. So he would latch really well, have my breast, fall asleep, and he would latch for like 45 minutes, sometimes like half an hour on each breast, and I'll put him down and he would wake up like straight away, like eager to have more breast milk. I don't know if this is a common thing. I mean, everyone experiences differently, but for me it just started getting a bit overwhelming. It was getting too much. This is when even I was already back to work, I physically couldn't literally leave the sofa. I was like glued to the sofa. I've got a dog, you know, I couldn't walk my dog. I couldn't physically do anything because he was so demanding on the breast. You know, and then it got to a day where he was like super unsettled, and you know as a mom when your baby is not okay, or when you just feel there's something there. And I could feel that there was something there, and I knew it had to do with the food. I was like always, he was always like whinging, moaning. He would latch onto the boob, but he was moaning anyway. And I was like, okay, there's definitely something not right. But 2 days prior to this, I actually, like, my milk was leaking, so it was actually going to like my bras, and I had to use breast pads and stuff like that. A lot of people were saying to me, oh, you know, your milk is not good enough, your milk is not strong enough. A lot of people were saying different things, and that does get to you guys. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it doesn't. And I would say, if breastfeeding is something you really want, you're gonna have to brush a lot of things that people might say around you. You're just gonna have to basically tell them you're the mom and you decide. Because I was getting a lot of that, and it was actually probably stressing me out more, and my stress was passing on to Santiago. You know, I was pumping, which after I heard that actually you shouldn't pump until you're 6 weeks postpartum, and I had no idea of that. So I was pumping and milk was coming, not much, but it was coming. After like 20 minutes I had at least 3 ounces in each little container thing that I had. So I was like, okay, this is good, this works for 2 feeds, if we want to go out, whatever. But like I said, on that day that he was super fussy than usual, it was just stressing me out. I got so overwhelmed that when Ethan got home, I just broke down in tears. Not because necessarily like I was upset that it was to do with the breast, but just because I couldn't figure out. Obviously we don't know, their babies, they cry for anything. Some of them even cry for nothing. But he was crying and I couldn't settle him. I just couldn't settle him, and I didn't know why, and it was really frustrating me, into a point where Ethan said, look, do you mind if I do him a bottle and we see how he goes with it? And then I said, no, like, go and do one, because we've had the machine. Like, I was so set on formula from the beginning, because I even have the machine my mom got for us for my baby shower. And I was like, do you know what, just go. If it's that, then at least we know what it is. So that's what Ethan went to do, done a bottle, and I'm kid you not, the minute he had that bottle, he fell asleep. He fell asleep for like nearly 3 hours. Like, he just conked out completely, and I couldn't believe it. And then I got upset even more with myself, because I was like, I was giving him breast and he wasn't happy with it the whole day. Something so simple could have just done the deal for him and me, because mentally, like, we have to think about them, but we need to think about ourselves. And if mentally we're not okay, then how are these little cuties going to be okay? How are we going to look after them? So I got to a conclusion, and then I started to combine breastfeeding for about a week and a bit. So I was doing both at the same time, and it was going okay. But obviously the less boob you do, the less milk comes. So I started to realize that my milk actually was quite weak on those weeks. I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that obviously I wasn't breastfeeding him all the time. So I was breastfeeding him during the day, during the night, and during the day giving him formula, sometimes still giving boob during the day if I felt like it. But I started to realize that I always had to top it up with formula. So I kind of knew that my milk wasn't the greatest. I don't need a midwife, I don't need a doctor to tell me, oh, it will get there, like, just keep going and it will get there. That's what they will always say to me. Midwife will come home, oh, just keep him latched, you know, your milk will get stronger, this. And I'm like, how long is this going to take? Because mentally for me, I am exhausted. Like, I was mentally exhausted. It's something that I didn't really want to do, but when I was doing it, I was like, you know what, I want to do it properly. And it just wasn't progressing. He was always upset. He was, I want to say he was screaming, because he wasn't screaming, crying, but he was upset. You could see he wasn't fulfilled. He wasn't happy. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that for him. I didn't want mentally to be exhausting myself for no reason, when there's just a simple answer and there's a simple remedy to all of it. So, and breastfeeding, as I said, wasn't something that I was crazy about. So I didn't really mind stopping it. So then that's when I decided that I was fully gonna stop breastfeeding, because I just didn't want to feel bad giving him the breast and knowing that he wasn't getting full, and still have to top him up with formula and confuse his poor little stomach, confuse him, poor little boy. And I was just like, do you know what, no, he's not going to remember this. I will, but he won't. So formula it is. I had formula when I was a baby. I'm here. Even had formula when he was a baby. He's here. And I think it is genetic, because my mum said that with her, with us three, she always tried in the beginning to breastfeed us, but unfortunately her milk would just dry up. So maybe it is a genetic thing, and maybe I can breastfeed for a while, but then I can't anymore. So, you know, midwives did keep telling me to keep trying, but honestly, my experience and my opinion and the way I felt, I just couldn't keep going. If I kept going, I know that it would bring a mental, like, it would just mentally drain me out, and I know that it's not good. It's also not easy to breastfeed when you're at home alone, like when you're basically alone, in the sense, yes, I have Ethan, but he's working. His work is quite demanding. Sometimes he's out until like midnight. Other days he comes home at 3 p.m. and then doesn't go back out. So it's very hard to be like, you know, Ethan can do this, Ethan can do that, we split stuff. No, because logically and just the way it is, I don't know if Ethan's going to be able to be here and help me and support me all the time. I can't rely on that. So whenever he's here, great, we make the most out of it. He helps you as much as he can, especially towards the baby. But when he's not here, breastfeeding was a challenge, because there was days I wasn't eating, guys. I'm not even joking. There was days that I was not even getting up from the sofa. I didn't have time to eat, and maybe that also affected my milk, because I didn't have anyone to come and cook for me. You know, as much as like I have my mother-in-law and stuff, they can't be here 24/7. They have their lives as well. So all those little things just added up to the fact that my milk kind of just dried up quickly. And the reason why I realized my milk dried up really quickly was from the minute I stopped giving him breast. Like the minute I stopped giving him breast, that was it. Like, I'm talking about fully, not when I was halving it, but when I stopped completely, after like a day, that was it. My milk, I didn't have evidence of milk on my breast. My breasts went back to what they were. I think they even went smaller. Yeah, I just noticed that my milk, definitely, because I know of a lot of people, they suffer, they get a lot of like pains. I didn't get that. I didn't get any of that. So yeah, maybe my milk was a very light milk. But I think even if it wasn't that, and even if, I think eventually I would have still done formula. I just think personally for me, it helps me in the sense that, I'm not saying formula is perfect, believe me, because I'm in the process right now that I think I might even have to change his formula. I'm with Kendall Mail at the moment, but I think I have a gut feeling. I'm waiting for my health visitor to get in contact with me. We also have an appointment with him to weigh him next week, so I'm hoping that I get to talk to someone, or someone's opinion, or because it does say don't change their formula until you get a professional opinion, because sometimes little things can be the remedies. I mean, it's not that it's doing a major thing, but I do think he has a lot of gas. I mean, he's pooing minimum once a day, which the GP said is absolutely fine. Sometimes it can go 5 days without pooing, like what the hell. But sleeping is becoming at night, like he sleeps in his cot fine, but he's very moany when he's crying, and he wasn't like that. And I know people say to me, oh, it's normal, baby do noises. No, these are not noises, these are moanings. These are like, I can't explain it, but they're not the noises he was making before. They're like, he seems irritated with something, and obviously they're babies. We don't really know what exactly is wrong, so that's why I'm trying to wait for professional advice, just in case maybe it is all in my head, and maybe he's fine with the formula and there's no need to change the formula again and upset maybe his stomach even more. But that's the one we're on now. I wouldn't say it's definitely not colics. I don't think it's colics at all. I have experienced colics with other babies at my work and everything, and colics, babies, you can see when it's colics. He definitely has trapped wind and maybe reflux. I think those are the two things he's suffering from. But when he poos, it is a very loose poo. So that's another evidence that it can be the formula that's irritating him. So like I said, nothing we choose is going to be a perfect journey, and nothing we choose is going to be easy. You might have to change formulas 3 or 4 times, you know, to get the correct one. That's just the way it is. But for me, breastfeeding personally, mentally, it wasn't for me. It was too draining, and I need to be okay up here in order to make sure that he's okay, and it just wasn't working. And he adapted to formula to bottle like amazingly well. Like I haven't had an issue with both things when it was breastfeeding and formula feeding, but he's done really well, and I just don't see the need to make myself stressed if he's okay. So he's starting to wake up slowly. But yeah, that's my experience. Like I said, there's no perfect way, and I don't think we should judge anyone for what we decide to do. Do what's best for your baby, but also what is best for you, because you need to be okay in order for your baby to be okay. That's what I would say. And also, if breastfeeding is something you really want, my biggest advice is don't listen to anyone around you. Focus on yourself, focus on your baby, get the help you need if you really want to go forward with breastfeeding. But I do say that you will need to go privately, because midwives don't help much. That's my personal opinion. You might have to do it privately and in a different area, because NHS, to be fair, when it gets to that, they're not the greatest. They say they support you, but really and truly, how much support do they actually give you? And yeah, that was another reason why I couldn't breastfeed and get professional help, because financially I can't, you know, always get private professional help whenever I have an issue with the baby, and that's just facts. So yeah, I really hope this helped you guys. I will let you guys know as well, maybe like in some vlogs online, if I do change his milk, just in case anyone's going through the same thing. And if you are going through the same thing, or you experience the same thing and you're watching this video, please leave down in the comments below what can I do to make it better, and what formula you guys would suggest. And a lot of people have suggested me hip or hippo or organic or something like that. So if that one doesn't work, I'm gonna try that one. I was really happy with Kendall milk. It's actually one of the milks that I most like, even with experience with my work at nursery. But obviously if it's not working for him, it's not working for him. There's nothing I can do, so I might have to change it. But yeah, I will see how that goes. I will let you guys know in my other videos, like I said. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it's helped some people out there. If it hasn't, I'm sorry. But yeah, as I said, a fed baby, that's what's the most important. So yeah guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
We fall and we rise through it all till we find what we want. Then we lose it all again. Your touch on my skin, pull me close, take me in. Just me, just you.